Hello. We
Hello.
are here today talking with Ayurvedic physicians who have trained in India, legally and licensed as B.A.M.S. doctors who are now practicing in the United States. Today, I have with me Dr. Bharat Vaidya, who comes from a lineage of Ayurvedic physicians. Welcome, Dr. Bharat.
I'm honored, Bhaswati, to be here, in your
Pleasure to
presence.
have you. It's a pleasure. So I understand that you grew up in Bombay. Can you tell us a little about your beginnings and how you got into Ayurveda?
See, Ayurveda actually was in my gene. That's what I can say, because my father, my grandfather, my great grandfather, my great great grandfather, and before that also, they were all Ayurvedic practitioner. And even though they studied both, I have also studied both. They have also studied both. For example, my father studied Ayurveda also and modern medicine also. He was chief medical officer in St. George Hospital, Bombay, trained under Dr. Dhyan Chand Pardhi, who was Anglo-Indian. And even in St. George Hospital, being a chief medical officer at that time, he was with blessing of his guru, prescribing 60% Ayurveda, 40% modern medicine if it is absolutely required. So from childhood, it was my wish that I want to study this science. I was interested in two sciences. One, my interest was either Ayurveda or history. PhD in history, yeah. And then I studied Sanskrit. Sanskrit was my second language in my school from 8th grade. So 8th grade to 12th grade, I studied Sanskrit. Then I studied science from Bhavan's College. And I asked my dad that I want to study medicine. And he said, and especially Ayurveda, I'm interested. So he said, if you are interested in Ayurveda, then my advice to you, for 2 years, you have to study Vedanta and Padarth Vignan, that is metaphysical science of Ayurveda. And at Valkeshwar, Ganga, until today, many Bombayites does not know about this area, even though it is in downtown Bombay. There was one very famous Sanskrit laureate person, Durga Shankar Shastri. And father put me under him. I was going every evening to study Vedanta, Sanskrit, more advanced, and Padarth Vignan, that is metaphysical science of Ayurveda. So for me, study of Ayurveda was around 8.5 years. After that, I did my B.A.M.S.
From which college?
I did actually, I was going to Podar, but Podar was too far from my home. And one of the Ayurvedic college, actually, my family helped to build that Ayurvedic college. My family was in route of that Ayurvedic college, and that is a Mittal College in Channi Road. And because it was nearby my home in walking distance, and at that time I was also studying under my dad, making all the Ayurvedic medicine or other even allopathic medicine, mixture, ointment, tablets, and Dr. Mukati, who was also colleague of my dad. So going to school also, then working with my dad also. And because at that time, the way Ayurveda was going down, I was doing tuition, to teaching the students, 10th grade, 8th grade, mathematics, science, and other subject, to pay my fees and my pocket money.
Yes.
Yeah, books and pocket money. So then I studied my B.A.M.S.
After you were teaching, this was informal teaching in health camps. This was not trying to revive the Prabhuram Medical College, right? The Ayurveda College. This was you in practice. Did you go back and get another degree in Ayurveda then after that?
So I did my B.A.M.S. and then actually to save this building, okay, what should I do? So I was going from bank to bank, asking for the loan. I'm talking about 1986, when building was under repairing. And I remember when I was little, I will see Dr. C.L. Javeri, Dr. Bharucha, stalwart personality of medicine at that time in Mumbai. Okay. And they will be in that library and I will ask them, okay, around 2 o'clock they are in that Prabhuram Ayurvedic College library. And I will ask my dad that why these people are here still awake at 2 o'clock at night. So my dad used to tell me that they are having some difficult case and they are trying to find the cure. And they know that they can find the cure from this old text only of Ayurveda and medicine. So I want to save it. Bhaswati and I did my hardest. But everywhere I was inserted because Ayurveda was not going anywhere. And they said, first of all, it was Ayurvedic Charitable Trust. Secondly, they consider everything as a pasti. Okay. So they refused to give me any help.
Where are those books now?
Many of them are destroyed. Few of them are survived, which is I am having in my archive. Yeah.
After you did your B.A.M.S. and practiced for some 5 years, you came to the United States.
Yes, exactly. I gave the GRE, TOEFL, and my father told me that if you really want to settle down as a successful or not successful, but respected citizen, my wish that you go and study there. Okay. So
you came to the US.
In 87, I came to US at Yale.
Okay.
I got admission in School of Public Health, Masters.
What is the best part of being an Ayurvedic physician for you?
For me, best part is, so then the real thing started. Then one of my advisor, Dr. Shop, who was MD from Germany, he recommended me Catholic University of Leuven, Flanders, Belgium, which is oldest Catholic university and very prestigious European house. And there I did my MD in modern medicine, again 5.5 years. But I combined many of my papers with Ayurveda and my teacher never refused me.
In Belgium, good.
In Belgium. Psychopathology, genius, he was my advisor, Dr. Professor Pitney's, and I presented a paper on 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Okay.
Which is actually the most advanced way of looking at psychopathologies. Exactly. Anyone that studied psychiatry, psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, any of the psychiatric specialties in modern medicine, modern psychology knows that they're all missing something. But when you move over to the Mahagunas, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, you end up getting a robust way of looking at every pathology and every physiologic basis of the mind. So it's great that you were able to combine them. Let's talk about what you do when a patient comes to you at your clinic with their parents and has autism spectrum disorder. How do you approach it using Ayurveda?
Oh yeah, autism approach, okay. I start both the way. First, pathological way, okay, and I don't go in the cleansing mode. No. I never do with cleansing because autism children already having vitiation of vata, no period, no matter what. Okay. And yes, there are some articles which link it with the vaccination. Okay. And there are some articles which links, okay, with the food also. Everywhere it is on online. You know that. Okay. So I cannot force them. What I do, okay, Bhaswati, let me tell you very frankly, with my treatment approach, I never force any American people with their lifestyle. Herb and little bit of changes, and with those herbs only with little bit of changes, what result they are getting, they are asking that what change we should make now.
What are the main herbs that you like to use as you approach autism spectrum? I know that it has to be individualized for each case.
Yeah.
But do you have particular herbs like haritaki that you use to get
haritaki, punannava, okay, then shankpushpi, jatamamsi, brahmi, bhungraj, my father's favorite for liver. Okay. These kind of herbs, shatauri, these kind of herbs I will use. And
what about dashmul?
Dashmul also I will use. But dashmul, if the child is weak, then I will not directly approach the dashmul. Okay, I will take out the little bit toxin and put with the good tissue in that body, okay, and slowly but surely I try to remove it.
And do your students see a lot of changes when you do these therapies with autism patients?
Guarantee. Today only one of my students was telling me that one of the patients with severe constipation and so many troubles, and she said, Dr. V, this guy is feeling now amazing with our formula. And I then realized, and I wanted to tell my student, please write down the formula for future student of Ayurved Sadhana, because what is happening, my father patients in Bombay are asking me, give us the Praful by prescription, but I do not have any. You know?
So this is for patient or this is for autism spectrum?
No, this is for every patient I'm telling you.
So what kind of benefits have you seen in autism spectrum disorders that your students and patients are witnessing when you treat autism spectrum disorder?
See, first of all, autism spectrum disorder, another thing when I approach through Manova Shrotamsi, my Manas Shastra class, I teach about Smruti. Okay, so Nindra, Smruti, Samskara, Prayatna, all these are part of my Manas Shastra class. Okay, just like modern psychiatry, so they should understand that this is a very rational and practical approach by our sages or our wise.
So talk for a moment about Somya and the moon energy.
See, Somya and moon energy, when you are talking about it, you are talking about the Param Shanti. Okay, or beautiful peace. Okay, now when you are talking about Param Shanti, you are also talking about the purity of the fire, Sadhak Pitta. Okay, and Sattva does not have gravity. Okay, it is a light. Light, both the light, it is a light in the weight, plus it is a light. And that Somya and Sattva, when you combined, it helped tremendously to control the kinetic energy of Vata, at the same time helping the wonderful energy of the kapha by controlling the tamas.
So thank you for sharing all of this information about autism spectrum disorders and some of the subtle energies that are involved in it. What is a pearl of wisdom that you would give to patients in America who are interested in Ayurveda?
Faith, the first thing, and then healing and love.
Say it again. Faith is what?
Faith is the first thing. Okay. If you do not have faith, what I am giving you, if you have faith, if you are sure that you want to do it, okay, and see how it works first with you, okay, it will going to help you, and have a faith, okay, and let it work, okay. It is not that rocket science that within 1 or 2 days you will feel, okay, I am totally cured. It will take time because it is get rid of the toxins and bad energy physically and from physical plane and metaphysical planes both, and then they see the result. So that is
what's the basis for faith? What's the basis that an American modern person who thinks faith is a very bad word, what is the basis by which faith actually helps to cure a disease?
Healing and love.
Right, but what's the basis of that? What would a modern science person ground that in?
Basis of that is that how I teach them that how logically our approach is.
Explain it to me in biochemical terms.
Biochemical term, I teach them how I start with the plasma. I explain them what is plasma. 90% of water, 10% of the immunoglobulin, gamma globulins, proteins, vitamins, etc. Then the blood, how the blood and plasma, how our sages thousands of years ago term the seat of the blood is liver and spleen, how WBC and RBC work through the liver and spleen. I try to make them understand with the modern terminology, okay, and through this modern terminology, okay, I try to gain their faith, okay, in the medicine. At the same time, I told you, I don't force them, Bhaswati.
So
okay.
I didn't hear you explain what faith is, but okay. I was trying to help people to understand
and faith.
What is faith?
And faith, when faith you are talking about, again, you are talking about what you put yourself into.
Right. So why would that matter? Why can't you just give me a pill and cure me without my having faith?
Because when you are taking the pill, okay, you are not putting yourself or self-feeling into that pill.
So why is self-feeling important?
Self-feeling is important because, to tell you, if you will ask me very frankly, that medicine hardly work, it is that healing power of the body, mediatrix of the nature, which is working.
And so faith invokes that inner nature, that inner pharmacist that
Exactly.
is putting out the chemicals and the hormones to heal you. And it knows exactly how much to put out and where. So to invoke that inner pharmacist,
Yes.
you need to have faith.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. What's a piece of advice that you would give to Ayurvedic physicians in India who want to practice in America?
See, this is not an, if they want to practice in America, there is nothing wrong, okay, but it is not what they think is the route, okay, easy it out, okay. There is a hard work involved. There is no free lunch in this country, okay. You have to go through lot of ups and downs. There is a difference, okay, in India and over here, okay. So try to understand that. And second thing, my father told me that best way, first study there, okay. Try to understand the culture and everything. And it is respect to them, okay, that there are not gold mines in America. There is a sheer hard work involved. And if you are ready for that, okay, and you can do that, then there is nothing wrong, okay, but be prepared for that.
We hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. and it's presented to you by AAP, the American Association of Ayurvedic Professionals. Thanks.